Hi everyone, welcome to Boarded Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the Cromwell B. One of the most popular tanks at Tier 6, both in Clan Wars, Skirmishes, random platoons and whatever else Wargaming have in it. This one has been sent to me by the Flying Elite. Flying Elite is platooning with his old mate Honest John from 1AR Clan and Scrubber from Flex. Of course, Flying Elite is a very active member of Hodor Clan. And of course this replay, it's still worth sending, still worth showing, because even though he missed the first bit, he sent me a message saying that the game crashed. So the first couple of minutes were missing, but he's on a encounter battle on Malinovka. And even though I've missed the first couple of minutes, you can see he's doing a little bit of sniping. He is a Tier 6 medium tank in a Tier 8 game, so he needs to be very conservative. I guess there's some pretty big guns on the enemy side when you're in a baby Tier 6 tank and you're up against a number of Tier 7 and 8 guns. And of course the OI, with OI is the arch nemesis of the Cromwell B. I've got a Cromwell B and I absolutely love it. It's quick, it's got a good rate of fire, and it's not that accurate as you just saw, but you can just dish out the damage like there's no tomorrow if you get yourself into a good position. And as well as that, you can also outflank and outrun, outmaneuver your opponents, even when they are Tier 6. The Crommy B is very quick and it can prove to be a hard tank to hit when you're running around quickly. Now, the score on 2-5, you might be thinking this is not looking too good for the Flying Elite at all. But let's wait and see what happens. Now, after this replay, we've got a replay featuring the Rudy, so it might be not a bad video to compare the two. Of course, the Rudy is also a Berlin tank. Those Berlin tanks, when they came out with crew members that already had brothers in arms, which was a very good selling point from Wargaming. Good way to sell the tanks. They come with a crew with full brothers in arms crew, which was pretty good. That's why I bought them. Anyway, 6-all is the score. The Flying Elite's team have had a bit of a comeback here. It looks like before this replay started, or in the time that was missed at the start, Scrubber got taken out. But the Flying Elite and Honest John are both running around in their Cromwell and the Cromwell B. And with the score on 7 apiece, see that the Flying Elite's already done 551 hit points of damage, and we're waiting for something magical to come up in this replay. Auto aims on the Nashorn, cops a shot from the German tank destroyer, bounces a shot from the FV 4202, and then he needs to get into some couple. He does kill the Nashorn in that little skirmish, and he does what a lot of people do on this map, gets down to this area right here where he is. As you fall off, you often damage your tracks, but it's very rare to take any damage, and this is where he's going to try and light up that Jagdpanzer IV, who was last seen roughly where the Flying Elite is now. He's not wasting any time. He's getting into a position where he wants to be able to find the German tank destroyer, confident that those tanks on the hill won't be able to damage him. Gets a shot into the Jagdpanzer IV, dodges a shot from him, and then ammo racks him, taking him out of the game, taking him down for a massive amount of damage in that shot. And that is possibly the turning point of this game. They're now up. The Flying Elite's team is now winning 9-8, but the enemy tanks still have a couple of Tier 8 tanks left. There's only one Tier 8 tank left on Flying Elite side. Stumbles upon the Rudy, gets a shot into the Rudy, but does take one. He's only on 384 health right now, with the score on 9-8, and so he needs to be a little bit conservative. The T44, trying to get him to fall back. He needs to take a little bit of cover. He doesn't want to get sniped out from those tanks on the hill. Of course, the tanks on the hill, some of them are Tier 8s, and those big Tier 8 guns could put a lot of damage into the Cromwell B. Of course, the Cromwell B doesn't have the the luxury of any armour whatsoever. Every now and then you might bounce a shot, but you don't want to be relying on any part of the Cromwell B's armour, especially against a Rudy, which has got a higher alpha gun than the Cromwell B. And so Flying Elite just trying to keep that Rudy lit. Honest John just put a shot into him, taking him down to 288 hit points. Looks like the Cromwell B, looks like the Rudy is aiming back towards Honest John now, and now he's going full YOLO mode in towards the Flying Elite, but the Flying Elite dodges the ram and takes him out of the game, picking up his third kill in this battle with the score on 11-10. You can see he's done over 2,000 hit points of damage. Of course, that won't count any damage that he's done before the game crashed. Whether he did or not, we'll see that in the post-game battle results at the end. 11-10 is the score. The enemy side have got the FV4202 and the Panther 2. Of course, the FV4202 is a British premium medium tank. Honest John's climbing up the hill, trying to get some vision on that FV, as well as the Panther, the Oni, and the M4A3E2, the Tier 6 American medium tank. Now, gun depression is not one of the Cromwell B's fortes, and he's just looking just to try and chip away at that Tier 7 Japanese heavy tank. The good thing about those Japanese heavy tanks is they're a nice big juicy target. It looks like Honest John's spotted the Panther and the M4, and Flying Elite looking for some snipey shots on those tanks, but at the same time he doesn't want to get lit by the FV. He's pretty close to that FV. You'd think the FV would be able to light him pretty soon if he keeps staying in that area and if he keeps shooting, but the FV might be on low health. Maybe he's hiding a little bit, so the Flying Elite's just looking for another angle on these tanks. He's not going to be able to shoot that Panther 2. They'd desperately like to take the German medium tank out of the game. Flying Elite's got 3 kills, 2,175 hit points of damage, a bit of spotting as well. And Honest John, I reckon he'd probably having a pretty good game over there as well. The T-44's gone to join Honest John, and of course the T-44's got a bit more armour and a bit more health than the Cromwell. Looks like the British premium medium tank is running down, probably looking for the SU-12244, but he's going to get a nasty surprise if he runs into his gun. Again, Flying Elite looking for a snipey shot on the M4 or the Panther 2, but Honest John does the job and takes both the tanks out of the game. With the score on 13-10, it's time to get rid of that Japanese heavy tank. There's still 781 hit points up for grabs there, and this is looking like a bit of a sniping opportunity from the Flying Elite. He's got premium ammunition loaded because it can be a tough nut to crack, but now it looks like he's showing him his side, so that should be pretty easy to penetrate those sides. He's only got 1 premium shell left, and so he's just going to keep that premium shell loaded, and then obviously we'll be back to standard rounds. Searching for the FV or the Oni. They've both got a kill each, those enemy tanks, and Honest John and Flying Elite have both got 3 kills each. And there's the auto aims at the British medium tank, and now he just wants to farm some damage. Here we go. With those bushes, it's going to be very hard for that FV to spot the Flying Elite, and that brings his damage count up to not far off 3,000 hit points that we know about. 13-10 is the score, and there he is again. Takes him down to a 1 shot, waiting for the gun to reload. The T-44 does the honours and takes the British medium tank out of the game, and now the Flying Elite's just going to keep chipping away at this Oni, and in the end, not as close as it was looking earlier, with the score on 15-10. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results, you can see that the Flying Elite, for that stroke of brilliance, has picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery badge, even though it was a shortened game. Bruiser, Demolition Export, that'll be for ammo racking that Jagdpanzer 4 in the first half of the game. Duelist, Fire for Effect, High Caliber for doing the most damage. Very unusual to get that, and very special to get that when you're in a Tier 6 tank in a Tier 8 game. And the Snipex. He did do a lot of sniping in that game. 3,389 hit points of damage, 3 kills, 1,700 of that was sniped from more than 300 metres. But he had to make sure that he kept his health alive, did a little bit of spotting, and that was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. 1,409 base experience, 34 shots fired, 29 hit, 24 went through, and not a bad profit considering all the premium ammunition he fired. He fired every premium shell that he had for that win, but a very good result from the Flying Elite. In the Cromwell B, one of my favourites, in fact I'd go as far to say it is my favourite tier 6 tank of all time, the British Cromwell Berlin. That's what the B stands for. Now here's another Berlin tank, and this one's been driven by my old mate Ravi 18 from What University, Southeast Asian clan, and he's got himself into a bit of a dynamic platoon there, which will give you a little bit of a bonus experience for the game. Now he's running around in his Rudy. Now the Rudy's no slouch, nowhere near as quick as a Cromwell B, but still it's getting up to nearly 50. And have a look at it. Is that he's got himself a mark of excellence on the gun, and he's got that writing on it, 102, and that looks pretty cool, I reckon. Now I've got a Rudy as well. I haven't played a huge amount of games in it because I think just that the speed of the Cromwell Bs and the vision just gives you a bit more of an advantage in skirmishes, which is probably where I've played the most of my Cromwell B games. But one thing the Rudy does have, two things that the Rudy has that the Cromwell B doesn't, is armour. And when you're top tier in a battle like this, you can afford to get up close and personal with the enemy tanks. You do have a bit of armour. You do often bounce shells. And there's a new Swedish tier 5 tank destroyer, which he's put a shell into. That second shell, I had no idea where it went, but his platoon mate has picked up the kill. Now the Rudy might not have the speed or the manoeuvrability of the Cromwell Berlin, but I mentioned early armour, and it does have a little bit more of a high alpha gun. The standard rounds do 180 damage compared to about 110 on the Cromwell, and that's with 144 penetration, 194 penetration if you use APCR, which in a lineup like this you really shouldn't need to, unless he's maybe taking on the T150 or the OI frontally, but they've still got their weak spots. So the score's 2-3. Ravi's already picked himself up 515 hit points of damage. Hasn't been lucky enough to pick up a kill yet. That Hellcat who joined the dynamic platoon is getting quite aggressive. I don't know if I would be that far close to the front if I was in a lightly armoured Hellcat. It's not like the Rudy. The Rudy can bounce shots reasonably reliable, especially in tier 6, as you just saw there. He bounced a shot from the tier 5 meatball tank, and there the A43 and the Hellcat diving in looking for the kill on the Sav M43, which is only a tier 4, so that tier 4 must be feeling pretty upset about that. Gets a shot into the Hellcat, and that's the tank he wants to focus on. Needs to get rid of the American tank destroyer. Takes a shot from the premium French artillery, the Leffel, but he's bouncing shots all over the place. He has bounced over 300 health. Now if that 300 health had have done damage, he'd be dead because he's only on 212 right now. Did take a damaging shot from somebody in that skirmish, but he bounced a hell of a lot as well. Looks like the Crommy is going to try and flank the Rudy and the KV1, or no, he's changed his mind. 7-6 is the score. That SU-100 picking up a couple of kills as Ravi looks for a shot on the Cromwell. Unlucky not to hit that. 8-all is the score. He needs to be careful here. He's only on 212 health. He wants to confirm this win. Looks like the heavies are in town, apart from the KV1. Gets a bit of assisted damage. The Crommy's down to 343 health, but he knows artillery could be looking his way, and there's a T150 coming in from the centre. But that T150 looks a bit out of position to me. I reckon that somebody should kill him, as Ravi keeps his eye on the Cromwell B. Plenty of people pinging that T150. If that T150 rolls over to Ravi, Ravi's going to be gone for all money. So he probably needs to get rid of the Cromwell, because it looks like the T150 is focusing right on him. STRV and the SU100 shooting at the T150 now, which so Ravi would be pretty relieved about that with the score on 8-9. Just a little bit of peekaboo with the Crommy. That STRV got taken out by the T150 in the end, but the SU100, pup 5859, does the right thing and sends the top tier Russian heavy tank back to the garage, as we're looking at Ravi playing around with this Cromwell. He probably wishes he had a little bit of company here, because that KV1 could be anywhere, so he's being a little bit conservative. And there's the KV1. He's on 237 health. Let's see if he gets damaged and tracked by the SU100. Artie shoots and fires, reverse side scrapes, and gets a shell into the KV1 before the KV1 can push on him. And now he'll be willing for his gun to reload. Shoots and tracks the Cromwell. Cromwell takes a shot from the SU100. Can Ravi get the kill? No, he takes him down to 1 hit point. Bounces a shell from the British medium tank, and then sends him back to the garage for his 3rd kill. But he's only on 11 health here, so he needs to be a little bit careful. The OI was last spotted in the northeastern part of the map. And of course the other 3 enemy tanks are all artillery. So what's Ravi going to do? 11-10 is the score. He's done 1,500 hit points of damage. He's bounced 400, and he's also got 737 spotting damage. Rightfully so. Says in the chat that was too close. Where that OI is now, nobody knows. There he is. He's just been spotted just north of the cap circle. I wouldn't be surprised if he rolled onto the cap. And even though his artillery teammates are saying go and find those arties, he knows that OI could just roll through all those tanks up in the corner. The SU100 does the right thing, sends the OI back to the garage, and now it's a case of looking for those last 3 artilleries. Are they going to drown themselves? Are they going to face a sanction? Now, you're not allowed to drown yourself now in randoms or in Clan Wars, Skirmishes, anything like that. The Wargaming are saying that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Now he gets lit. He gets lit by one of these artilleries without spotting the artillery himself, so he needs to be careful. He might have 3 guns focusing on, of course, the tier 5 left 18B2. It's a pretty quick firing, accurate low alpha artillery, but low alpha is all they need. He's only on 11 health. Luckily that shot missed, but he was around about here, I reckon, when he got spotted. So there's one of them. There's the little American tier 6. Shoots, gets a shot into the tier 6. I reckon he's already fired, but there's 2 others. Takes the tier 6 out of the game. He's got to keep moving, because there's the arty shot. There's another one. So they've both just fired. That's the grill and the Leffel 18B2. No idea what Leffel stands for. I'm sure somebody will be able to let us know. Now the M44 asking for a kill, begging for a kill. That's interesting to see what the M44 does in the post-game battle results. 10 kills between them, Ravi and Pup 58-59. And there goes the Leffel. That's 11 kills. Can he get 12? Yes, he can. Top gun for both Ravi 18 and Pup 58-59. And that would have given them a pretty good battle result. Have a look at that post-game battle result. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Pascucci's Medal for destruction of 3 enemy artilleries in a game, Spartan for surviving a ricochet, a non-predating shot from an enemy when you're on less than 10% health, Crucial Contribution for getting 12 kills in a platoon. Each platoon participant receives this title. Top Gun, of course, for getting 6 kills, and of course the High Caliber. As we have a look at the second page of the post-game battle result, this guy in the Hellcat, he would have picked up that Crucial Contribution as well, because he was part of that dynamic platoon. where Ravi and Pup 58-59 both got 6 kills each, and they both did a very similar amount of damage too. 2,278 hit points of damage gave Ravi 1,290 base experience, 737 spotting damage, and 410 blocked would have contributed to that top score as well, whereas the SU wasn't spotting his own targets. That's why Ravi would have got a higher score than Pup 58-59. But an awesome game by both of these players. They absolutely carried all these passengers. Even this M44, he only got 2 damaging shots off, and he was begging for a kill. That's pretty weak in my opinion. But have a look at the profitability of this tier 6 premium tank. 58,600 credits. Bottom line profit. That's with a premium account. And that's what these premium tanks are good for, grinding credits. I don't think he fired any premium ammunition, but if he did, it was well worth it. Have a look at all those medals. You can put those medals straight on the mantelpiece. So there's a couple of tier 6 premium tanks, Berlin games, the Cromwell Berlin and the Rudy. Both ace tankers, both very different games. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and see you all next time.